great transport links.
You're never far away from the tube.
Buses go all the way into town.
If you're travelling by car, you've got major roads nearby.
You've got the M1, the A1, the M25, the North Circular.
Very good schools.
It's a popular choice for young families.
Great parks.
We've even got our own farm.
There's plenty of things to do. Live entertainment, kids events.
There's the Phoenix, lovely independent cinema.
If you're into sport and keep fit, there's a public swimming pool, lots of gyms and tennis courts.
And of course, loads of restaurants and places to eat and drink.
A lot of families moving here to get their children into specific schools.
There are a good range of schools in Finchley Central. Obviously, I can speak for this one well because I'm the head teacher and we are a Church of England school. But locally, we've got other schools like Chalgrove School, which is a community school. Pentland services have a nursery, which I know was outstanding. There are community schools like Manoside in Squires Lane, Tudor School, which is just off the North Circular. All of those schools serve this area and serve it well.
I'm Sabby, and with my husband I have this cafe, Finchley Kitchen, and we live around the corner, so it's a local business and we live nearby and we're serving the local community. The thing about it is that we love what we do and it's a local business. We're not a corporate. We're an independent, it's just me and my husband. We love the fact that our neighbours and friends can come round. It's a lovely area, Finchley, and we're happy to be able to have our business where we live.
There's a range of shops that you can get, and it's not just all eateries and cafes. And eating shops are very, very popular at the moment, but we still have hardware shops. We have a great bakery, and of course we've got Tesco's, but if you want the smaller shops, they're there.
It's definitely a great high street because the fact is I don't drive, and one of the things that we considered when we moved to the area is could I walk to all the necessary places. It's well served not only for shops, but it's a very family area, it's a residential area. There's Avenue House Grounds with its museum, I think it's called the Inky Stevens Museum.
Historically, I think that Finchley Central is quite an interesting place. There was sort of historic families, the most famous of which obviously was the Stevens family of the Ink tradition, and their house, Avenue House, as it is in a park, is still there as a museum and has really nice gardens.
We're close to quite a few open spaces. Victoria Park is probably the largest. That's a little bit further north on the east side of Ballard's Lane. Otherwise, going west of here, you have Dollis Brook, and that runs all the way up to High Barnet, so that's a good few miles long. You get a lot of dog walkers, joggers.
Well, there's a great swimming club called Poolside Manor, which is where my children learnt to swim, and it's lovely because the water is hotter than at the big pools. There's also an LA Fitness on East End Road. There's a cricket club there as well. So yeah, it's quite well served for sports clubs.
So here in Church End, there's a lot of Edwardian property. I think the majority of the houses in the area are probably not as old, probably built in the 20s and 30s. There are some roads as well where you get slightly older property, Victorian property. The sizes of the properties range from your smallest 3-bedroom house around 1,000 square feet, I suppose, up to in the region of 4,000. There are some specific roads where you get very, very large property, as big as 4,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's got great transport links, which is useful for people who are non-drivers like me. So you can get into town, you can go to a club, you can go to the West End, but you can come back to a lovely, quiet area. The nearest station is Finchley Central, and the great thing being Finchley Central is that all the trains northbound stop at Finchley Central.
And the buses, there are a great number of buses which go all through the side streets as well as the main roads.
We're also very close to the A406 North Circular, and that will take you east towards Essex, otherwise the M1. Very close to the M1 with direct links to the north.
The roads are good. You've got nice aspected houses. You've got parks, locally parks like Victoria Park. Lots of trees, lots of open fields, as well as nice areas to live. So yeah, I think it's a kind of attractive place to be. To be honest,
it's a friendly area. It's an area where you know your neighbours and there's a sense of community. It's handy for lots of little shops, so you can do your cooking and pop out for an ingredient that you need at 11 at night if you need to.
It's important to be involved in the community, to give back at the same time. I mean, a lot of these people that you sell property to, you're going to come across again, so the chances are they're going to be, still live locally. They're upgraded from a 1-bed to a 2-bed to a 3-bedroom house, and that's very, very important to be able to continue that relationship, if you will.
I've lived here for 7 years, and the things that I love about the area initially as a first-time buyer was the property prices compared to other parts of North London. So it's much more reasonable in North Finchley, you get much more for your money. There's plenty to do, there's lots of cafes, it's great transport links, so you can get into the city, you can get out of the area and get into the countryside very easily.
It's a very diverse community, very cosmopolitan. The schools are great, the parks are great. Access into central London's fantastic from many different ways. You've got mainline stations. The Northern Line is available at Woodside Park.
North Finchley is really well connected. I think that one of the reasons for its existence in Tally-Ho Corner was because it's a transport hub. So most residents can walk to Woodside Park Underground Station within about probably less than 10 minutes, and I work just on the edge of the city and it takes me half an hour on the underground.
Or there's West Finchley as well, probably 15 minutes. But then there's overland trains as well, which go straight into the city, Southgate and Oakley Park's there as well. So it's really well connected.
And then there are regular bus routes down to Tottenham Court Road and Victoria and the west centre of London as well.
I work in Hertfordshire, so I'm straight in the car 10 minutes to the A1, or the M25 is literally 10 minutes away. My parents live in Northampton and the M1's 10 minutes away, so from a point of view of a car you can get absolutely anywhere.
The properties in North Finchley are diverse. They can go from smaller 2-bedroom detached chalet bungalows, 3-bed mid-terrace 30s buildings, up into some very grand Edwardiana with 5-6 bedrooms detached.
Green spaces are wonderful. You've got the more traditional Victorian parks like Friary Park and Victoria Park. Then you've got the whole Dollis Brook area, which is a small river that runs to the west of Finchley and is mile after mile of walk and trail.
If you want to, you can follow that trail all the way down to Hampstead. Great for families, great for kids, great for dog walkers like me. It really is just an area that has everything.
And this is a protected area, and I don't expect it to be built on in anything like the near future.
We love the high street in North Finchley. There's lots of bars, cafes. You can't not get a coffee in North Finchley.
So the shops are on the high road in North Finchley, stretching from Tally-Ho Corner towards Barnet. You've got a good range of shops, so lots of independent cafes.
During the day, I think there's a vibrant culture. It feels like a proper high street. In the old Penny Lane sense, I suppose, you've got a mix of good shops, which are very specialist and boutique.
But also you've got the branded cafes as well, like Costa and Starbucks, etc.
The high street is more or less bookended by Waitrose at one end and Sainsbury's at the other.
Big Tesco Extra down at Colney Hatch, and most of them are all within walking distance, so it's a great range of supermarkets to suit all budgets. Restaurant-wise, lots of curry houses, Japanese sushi, Italian places, just about everything that you could want.
You're not really short of choices of places to eat and dine out in North Finchley.
The schools in the area are fantastic. Just around the corner we've got Northside Primary. They get very good Ofsted reports. We're proud to have the Wren Academy and the Compton School. And when you move a little further afield into an area we also cover, Fry and Barnet, Holly Park School, St John's and Fry and Barnet.
Education-wise, we feel really comfortable in the area that we're going to get the best of what's on offer within London.
So we also have the Lido complex, which is about a mile south of North Finchley. It has a multi-screen cinema complex. We have a large number of restaurants, from Wagamama, pizza places for the family.
Then there's also the Finchley Lido as well, which has got a gym and then the swimming pool and an outdoor swimming pool, which I believe is quite famous. So that's a great thing to have on your doorstep, really. Lots of things to do at weekends.
We have the Arts Depot, which is a great facility. My daughter's performed there, so it really is a gain for the whole family.
My son is 3.5 and we take him quite regularly to the shows, and he's so engaged with everything that happens there.
I think North Finchley is a beautiful suburb of London that's had a lot of care for it over the years, and people are once again beginning to care for it. and there's a strong community feel here.
It really is just a great place to live. I don't see myself moving from here now. I've lived here since 2007 and I have no desire to move anywhere else.
I think it's just an area with lots going on for lots of different types of people. So if you move in as a first time buyer, you can grow with North Finchley, so you can have a family here and not feel like you need to move. The facilities here are great for young people, they're great for families, but also great for older people as well. So I think it's just an all-round area that has great transport links. You feel very, very safe here and has lots going on.